the genie sea. My loss has been taken. I'll go to sea no more. Someday, somewhere, somehow, we're gonna be fine. Someday, somewhere, somehow. Yum, 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 yum. I'm Yashiroreaper, and welcome to the stream. And as always, I'm just gonna edit some things. Watch now. Also, I forgot to turn on my lights. Good job, Yashi. You're a streamer. It's not like you haven't done this before. Stream has been edited. Yeah. Now let's get into drawing. So, hello. If you can't tell by what I pulled up, we're gonna do some more Stargazer with RID Starscream, because I'm a simp. I know my place in life, okay? I understand. So I'm here to draw. Of course, I've chosen another Sweetness and Lightning thing because I don't know, this works in my head. So of course I'm going to start off with my OC because she is the easiest thing for me to draw in this image. There she is, look at her. I like using her, like Samugi for her in this because, I don't know, in my head it looks, it like seems like a perfect fit for this character. Okay, so the reason I'm drawing this is because I was actually working on the writing stuff for this not that long ago. Because there's one arc I've been like mulling over in my head for a while, and now that I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna write this down. Maybe it'll help me stop thinking about it. It didn't. I think it's because my brain's like, yeah, you only wrote it on paper, bitch. As far as we're concerned, that doesn't mean it will happen. I'm like, oh god. Not again. So yes, I'm using Sarah Stone's design for him. I pulled up another reference, which I'll be referring to, which is right here. Yeah, it kind of goes up, down. It's got like an abyss and then it kind of Is that like rather narrow here? Like about here, juts out. I think I mentioned it like last time I drew this pairing. I mean, like this, not pairing, the brain today. This like, brain today. Why? This like family dynamic characters. Like, that's how I drew them. I think I discussed this, but basically like, this is basically like all the same normal stuff happens in this series that happens in like the original comics. So like at this point, when he gets this design, Bumblebee is like canonically dead, I guess. And like Bumblebee was Star's original caretaker in this AU. Like it was originally Bumblebee looking after her, but then not long afterwards, like Starscream and Bumblebee start like forming a friendship, and then like Starscream after Bumblebee's death is kind of left with her, because Bumblebee's like, okay, like she doesn't like many people, but she like likes you, so if anything ever happens to me, she has to stay with you. And Starscream's like, of course she can stay with me, thinking more along the lines of like, this is never gonna happen, nothing's gonna happen to Bumblebee. And then Dark Cybertron happens, and you know, he dies, and Starscream's like, shit, like now I'm left with the like daughter of my developing, like I don't have it where they're like, they don't officially say they're dating, but everyone like it's just like, yeah, you guys are fucking, and they're like, we're not. That kind of thing. So like he's like, shit, I'm like left with her. She needs someone to be here for her. Like she needs a parent. And now I'm kind of left with the pieces of, shit, I have to be her parent. And it's not like he doesn't want to be it. Like he adores this little femme and is like I will do anything for her. But at the same time, he's like, I know how fucked up I am. I know how fucked up everything is, and as far as I'm concerned, the world is on fire. Like, I kind of headcanon him a bit in this, where it's like, he very much knows that, like, even when he's in power, he, like, knows, like, my time is limited. If I fuck up, they're gonna throw the fucking book at me, and it's not gonna be pretty. And he's like, shit, now I got, like, this little femme who pretty much despises everyone else, like refuses to deal with 98% of people, and now I'm her like sole guardian, and if anything happens to me, where is she going to go? And that's kind of like his struggle. He's like, shit, this femme is like relying on me. I adore this little femme. But now I'm starting to realize that, shit, if something happens, if I am gonna be punished for shit I've done over the years, I am literally leaving this small femme with no one in the world that she actually tolerates. Like, actually, not like likes. She tolerates people, but like, he's like, I'm leaving this femme behind. And she needs me, so it becomes like a lot of his later actions in the series I kind of like put on the fact that like he's preparing for an end and he knows it's coming, and he's like, I gotta make sure that at the end of the day this little femme is going to be fine. And he's doing his best, okay? He's doing his best. Also, I just love Armada, like Sarah Stone's Armada take. I fucking love it, because if you haven't watched Armada Starscream is baby. He's violent, but he baby. And his death still makes me cry. The music that plays, that's literally the entire reason I watched Armada was for Starscream. Starscream and a little bit of Hotshot, but 98% Starscream. I was there for Starscream and Starscream alone. And I loved it. And then he died. And then I stopped watching because I stopped caring. I was like, no, you killed my main bitch! I no longer give a shit! That's a shoulder blade spike. Yeah, like, that's his more Armada-y design. But, like, look at him. Look at this bitch! He wears it well. Sorry, I'm trying to look at, like, a good point POV for, like, his shoulder plates. Welcome to Art Kids, where you spend a good chunk of your time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it, like... Clearly it goes, like... Let's see this one again. Yeah, he's very got, like, boxy. I also, like, just like the idea that, like, Star is kind of one of the few that are on his Starscream side all the time. Like, she's like, he's changing. I believe he's changing. I don't understand why no one else believes me when I say this. He is changing. I believe in him. And, like, a lot of that also drives his, like, I don't want to say, like, his psychosis, where he's like, she believes in me, so I have to be, like, good kind of thing, but, like, not fully in the way, like, a lot of people would see that. Like a bow. But yeah, I don't know. I like writing this dynamic, and it's been like one of my weird hyperfixation writing things right now. I'm just like, I need to write this. And my brain's like, sure, let's do that. And my brain like actually does the thing. The other one I've been obsessively writing has been More Than Meets the Eye. But like, working on this one has been a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Listen to this, and it's more like a, I just want to say, like a V thing. across. Goes across like that, and it goes back up. So it's not like fully. I think I'm getting this. Get this down. I can't. Ah. Okay. This is very rough sketching area. Okay, then it's got his cockpit. Also, like, one thing I really like about the IDW run with this. Although one thing that's been kind of pissing me off the last couple days, I'm going to talk about this. There's been this guy going around on Tumblr that's just, like, tagging all the fucking tags, being like, people hate IDW Optimus Prime, which we don't! We don't! We just agree that he's a problematic character! Everyone's like, oh, you fucking snowflakes. I'm like, oh god, he's one of those. And he's basically like, oh, you guys, if he wasn't him, I'm like, no, we wouldn't. The reason people stopped liking IDW Optimus was, number one, as many times as people change over Optimus, the fact that he's always kind of good-natured has always been a good thing. Near the end, though, Optimus is done with everything. He doesn't care. His good-natured side, which is still partially there, is very tainted by some of the actions he makes. Like, one of the big ones a lot of people point out, too, is his pretty much throwdown with Prowl. When Prowl is already arrested, he's like, bitch, boo! You don't do that! He's captured! He's done! You can't just beat up a restrained individual! And then just other things, like, I don't know. It's not the way this guy was going on about it. I was like, dude, my dude, like, you don't get it. You don't get why people... No one hate, like, IDW Optimus, or people are like, oh, they make him like a, or, I think it was against Magopee, I think it was, and I was like, number one, as much as people ship this, we all know it's a crack ship. We all know that never in a million years is this actually going to be canon. We like it because the gay fucking subtext they hide in this shit. Trust me, I know it's there, and Megatron 98% of the time has a hate boner for Optimus. I'm sorry, he has a hate boner, and fangirls will latch onto that and never let go. And he's just going on, and he was just going on tirades, and he was tagging it in a bunch of fucking places, and I think the tagging is where we just stopped giving a shit. We're like, dude, my dude, you can say all this shit, and then it's like, of course, his language. Since he said, you guys are being snowflakes, I was like, ah, my god, I want to hate you. Yeah, so let's go up, down, a little curve, slide down, and then a jet at the bottom. And so get all of that into the thing, but I wanted the... Really, Rain? Stone's art is so beautiful. I know people hated that Starscream's like that they kept changing like frames, like their frame designs and that kind of thing. I know it's entirely to sell toys, but still, it looks beautiful. And as much as it's a continuity error, I live for it. I literally own. I stopped buying a lot of the RID comics because I was more into more of the Meets the Eye because gay robots, but. One of the main ones I made sure I got was Windblade, because Sarah Stone does the entire graphic novel, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Like, right now I'm in the stage where I'm like, I need to buy all the more than Meets the Eye, I need to buy all the Lost Lights, and I need to buy all of RID! But it's so expensive! But I want it so bad. I want RID for Starscream and Bumblebee, the ghost thing. And I want more than Meets the Eye, because obviously gay robots. I require gay robots in Ravage, but 98% for gay robots. Gay robots. Okay, moving on. His helm is like peaks, I think. Yeah, like dips down a bit. So we're just gonna jump to this. I'm just gonna assume that it's gonna be part of his faceplate. Does he have a chin? Yeah, he does. Why did I even ask that? Of course he has a chin plate. Made like a little bit different when it comes to like the continuities of my Youngling story when it comes to like the IDW universe. Like in More Than Meets the Eye, she's definitely like more of a More than meets the eye. As much crazy shit does go down, like, I feel like a lot of the time she has more stable characters around that are gonna, like, make sure she's okay and all that kind of stuff. And also, I just gotta say that. Oh, that's beautiful looking. So it's like a slight turn. I want like a quarter turn of his face. Like, I mean, that's gonna be a good start. It's like, sorry, brain's like, how do art? And I'm like, ugh, how do art? Like, yeah, it swoops up. Just got like this kind of thing going on. Okay. I think it stops with his helm area. Yeah, I think it starts with his helm. Yeah. Sorry. The brain is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Yeah, I forgot his gun things. We're getting there, guys. All down into lower opacities, and then move on to next stage, which is more detailed line art. I want to talk about this AU, but my brain's like, you either do art or you talk. So I'm gonna attempt to do this, and if it doesn't go that well, I'm very sorry. But yeah, like, the whole idea in this AU is that, like, she arrives, and, like, obviously, like, no one knows what the fuck to do. Everyone's like, why the fuck did a youngling just, like, drop out of the fucking sky? What the fuck do we do? And she's, like, completely confused, because she's like, I don't understand. I was just going through a Garen bridge, and now I'm here. But one of these people, reminds me, looks kind of like she has like one thing I don't really explain in a lot of the things, but it becomes a bigger factor, especially in like the ones where she jumps universes, is that it's kind of a headcanon thing I have for more Praxians, which she is, so got passed on to her, is that Praxians have like a more innate is the right word? I think so. Like they have a more kind of innate thing with their door wings, where basically door wings are basically extra sensors to their frame. And one of these inputs allows them to read fields a lot more detailed than other people do. And even though stargazers, like, wings are destroyed in most universes, she still has a slightly heightened sense of, like, fields. And as soon as she sees, like, Bumblebee, she's like, that doesn't look like B, but it feels like B. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the same thing. So she's like, B, you're here. B, what's going on? Where am I? Why does everything look different? Why do you look different? That kind of thing where she's just like very confused. She's like, things are different. Nothing makes sense here. Why does everything look so weird? Who are these people? Where are you? Why do you look like that? It's very much a, like, I want to say, like, it's the best way to describe that. I'm trying to think, but my brain's like, we're done with thinking today. You use 98% of your brain cells to text your manager back as she asks you to work after she deliberately, or at least I believe, fucked up doing scheduling. And then had to call you in, because she obviously had to. But, like, yeah. Yeah, she's, like, very confused. Like, I don't understand. Something isn't right here. I don't understand. All I know is that that's you. And, like, in the main universe, like, main universe for this fic, like, Sire, she has, like, 2 bots that she gets really close to almost instantly. It's, like, Optimus and Ratchet. But, like, another bot that she, like, also has a very deep connection with is Bumblebee. Because in that universe, Bumblebee is the one that finds, like, the first Autobot that, like, holds her. And she's very much like, this is Bumblebee. This is my friend. This is, like, my brother. And she adores Bumblebee. In this universe, she's like, you're the only one I recognize here. You're Bumblebee. I know you're Bumblebee. I don't know why you look like that, but I know you're Bumblebee. And for her, that's, like, enough. It's enough to be like, you're Bumblebee. You may look different, but I know for a fact you're Bumblebee. And for her, that's, like, enough to, like, almost calm her down when she first arrives. But then, like, when he's, like, very confused, that, of course, like, adds to it, where she's just like, wait, you don't know who I am? Of course you know who I am. You're Bumblebee. You're Bumblebee. You have to know who I am. And that, like, really, like, gets her extremely upset, because she's like, you know who I am. You have to know who I am. Why don't you know who I am? I'll pull up this one. I just want her optic colors. And, like, in all the universes, she has, like, a certain, like, thing that slightly sets her apart. Like, in More Than Meets the Eye, I have it, like, where she uses her mimicry a lot. Meanwhile, in this one, it's also to do with the voice thing, where basically when she gets really upset, like, instead of doing instead of crying, like, in a normal, typical kind of way, she, like, screams so loud that she shorts out her vocalizer. And, like, that's because, like, a thing where when she gets super upset, bots around her, like, fuck, I can't hear! Because this little femme is just screaming so loud that her voice box is just like, we can't keep up! Give up! Give up! She's screaming too much. And, like, she actually uses that ability a couple of times where she's just, like, screaming so loud for something that everyone's like, okay, give in. We're giving in. Like, you're shorting our audio sensors. You've been screaming so loud that your voice box is literally nothing but static! And you just keep screaming! And, like, when she first arrives, like, the only one that's able to get her out of that screaming, hysterical state is Bumblebee. And then later on, Starscream gets added to that list of, like, she's screaming hysterically. There are 2 bots you can get. Starscream or Bumblebee. And, like, her beginning to, like Starscream at first, she's just like, you don't look anything like my Starscream. And, like, that's the gist of it. Like, she's like, Bumblebee doesn't really like him. But like over time, because of a headcanon I believe like Seekers are surprisingly like always good with kids. So Starscream's like, do you even know how to look after a kid? Bumblebee is like, to be honest, no. He's like, him and like Metalhawk, who I don't like as a character, but I kept him in anyways because plot convenience. Is like, oh well, you and your Autobots are always blah blah blah. We'll teach you how to look after a youngling. Because obviously she needs to stay with you, because anyone else, and she screams like a banshee. So like Bumblebee's like learning how to look after her from them. And like Metalhawk suggests some certain things that she's just like, bitch, it's not like I was born yesterday. Like I imagine, like in this universe, like Metalhawk is with the nails, who are basically Cybertronians that never got involved in the war, so I imagine like they would have like more of a conservative approach when it comes to younglings, being like, oh, younglings, they want to be responsible. Meanwhile, Star came from a universe where the war is going pretty steady, and there's a very good chance that she could be in mortal peril. So she's been trained to not only defend herself, but also as a means of keeping her busy and just kind of making her feel slightly more involved. She's also been taught a little bit of how to be a medic. And this really, really bugs Metalhawk. He's like, what the fuck? Like, why would anyone do this to a kid? Meanwhile, Starscream, who was like Megatron's second in command, like lived through wars, like, oh no, I understand, given her situation. And like doesn't like play down to her like she's a baby. And she like very much appreciates that, as like even though my carrier doesn't trust him, he shows me a bit of respect. So in turn, I slightly respect him. That kind of idea thing. Also, like, I'm forcing myself not to use like my line shaper things that I normally used for art, because I'm like, okay, come on, we need to learn to draw Transformers without relying on the line tool. So I'm forcing myself to draw lines. I'm not liking it, but hey, this is how you get good, I think. I don't actually know how to get goods. Because as you can tell, I'm very mediocre at art. I like doing it. Like, art is not like my best friend who's like literally like, hey, yeah, this tattoo is gonna be a bit tough because it's just a lot of straight lines, and then like she does it, and I'm like, it's beautiful. Why are you worried? It looks fabulous. Meanwhile, I'm here like, I force myself not to use line tools, and I'm looking at it going like, oh my god, these lines are so shaky. But I'm just gonna stick to them. I'm just sticking to them, folks. I think I'm getting there. At least I'm feeling more confident. But yeah, as I said, like, this is after, like, Starscream Starscream basically takes over Raising Star. And like, I have some like arc change things where I kind of like change a bit of the arcs. Mostly because I wanted Thundercracker and Skywarp to be in it, so like during Megatron's trial, Stargazer like goes a bit ape wild and is like you took my carrier and you stole his Autobot insignia, and like gets into his fucking. Because one of the things I have with her is that like she's extremely crafty, like to a point where like everyone's just like, oh fuck, she's escaped to get heaven. They literally just have a protocol for like, the femme has escaped. Now we must find her. And they're just like, yeah, Stargazer escaped again. She has left her sitter, has abandoned them. They have no idea where she is. We have to go find her. Again. And like 98% of the time, like, I know for a fact, like, I want to make it once where something bad actually doesn't happen. It does happen to her, but that's, like, later on in the story. But, like, for the most part, anytime she goes out and, like, hides away, nothing bad ever happens. So, she's just like, well, you see, nothing bad happens, so... They're just like, you don't understand, bad things could be happening. She's like, I'm fine. And everyone's like, ugh! This youngling keeps running around. And keeps basically saying, fuck you, to anyone who watches her. No one knows how to deal with it. Like the other day, my mom gave me like money. She's like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine this month, so here's some money. I'm like, thank you, Mom, but stop giving me your fucking hard-earned money, Mom. You need to plan your retirement, Jesus Christ. But she gave me money, and she's like, buy yourself a treat. So I'm gonna buy myself a burrito after this. It's just like a new place that opened that sells burritos, and I'm very curious. Like, I just saw it appear on Skip the Dishes. I'm like, ooh, I know what I'm buying now. Your girl is getting a burrito. Because I haven't had a burrito in so long. Burritos are delicious. I mean, if they had a chimichanga, I definitely would have gone for a chimichanga more. But, like, burrito is still pretty fucking good. Basically, a chimichanga is just a deep fried burrito, okay? I understand. I'm a basic bitch. Remember there used to be like one, like, they have it here too, but they just don't do delivery. And it's out in the buttfuck middle. Well, it's in like a shopping, like, not a shopping center. Like, not in like a mall. It's like in a, what are they called? Like an area where a bunch of shops are, but none of them are actually like really connected. Like a few are, but like most of the part is just like plaza. Yeah, it's a plaza. And they have the burritos there, but like nothing's there that I go to. Like maybe one day when I have a car, I'll go there for foods. That's also where like the Montana's is. But like for now. getting there, folks. I have not given up. Proud right now, folks. Doing straightish lines. No tools. Bam. I know probably later I'm gonna be like, why didn't I fucking use tools? It's like hideous. Like right now I'm like slightly proud of myself. So I'm gonna hopefully try to collect that energy and use it later. When I'm like hating myself for drawing this. I'm like, why didn't I use tools? But you see, Yashi, you're trying to develop yourself as an artist. And using tools all the time is not developing those skills. In a way they are, but in another way they're not. So you're going to try. So I'm like, but hey, it's fine. Hardest part, doing the wings. I still want to use it so bad for the wings, but like my brain's like, no, you've done this, you've gone this far. You can do the rest of the way. Dismiss. Sorry, OP has broken into chat. AKA my alarm went off to tell me to stream today, and I'm like, I've already done that, thank you. I had to set reminders, okay? If I don't, I forget. If I forget, well, that's not very good of me. That does mean we're about, like, 1 hour into the stream. I'm about 1 hour in and I'm already like almost done a line art. That's pretty fucking sweet. I remember I made them rings last time. I can't remember why. I think it was because of like this panel. These panels where it's like kind of I can't wait to like start publishing this fanfic because I really think it's a cute dynamic, and also like in all my series I usually have like 1 or 2 Decepticons that Star really like sympathizes with or like becomes close with, because as much as like we all know like the storyline and like how things have changed and people are like, yeah, when you look at it like Decepticons are really the choice we want to go with, that kind of thing. But like, I don't know, I've always kind of seen Star as a character that would be very much like progressive, and like she very much would kind of be able to sympathize with a lot more of the characters that other people just wouldn't want to in the universe. So she like is young and kind of not like entirely naive because she's been through some shit, but like is a bit more open-minded than the people who have been like hurt again by the Decepticons. So it's really kind of fun to write her character. Also, I haven't like saved this yet, so save as DF. Go studio page. RID Youngling. One of the things I also like with the dynamic between her and Starscream is this, like, for even before, like, the relationship's really solidified, he sees her as, like, he's like, this is a very sharp-witted little femme. Like, she is something. She is very smart, she's very clever, and I appreciate that. And, like, Star also, later on, she develops, like, certain things that Starscream's, like, people are like, that's you. And he's like, no, it's not! She's, like, with her, I have her where she sneaks out a lot, and one of the main like things she'll use is like kind of almost contingency things where she's like, well, technically no one saw me, I was in the vents, and people are like and they're just like, that doesn't matter, and she's like, yes it does, and they're like, please, no, it doesn't matter, it doesn't fucking matter, please, child, small child, please stop. She's just like grinning maniacally like, but I'm not lying. And they're like, no you're not, but the femme. Another thing is like, because his name's Starscream and she's called Stargazer, a lot of people look at him and go, you named her, didn't you? And he's like, no, I did not name her. Why would I name her? Especially if I was going to name her, why would I name her that? Here. Yeah, I did. Wait a second. Fix this down here. Another thing I have, like, kind of for the relationship, like, the two of them bicker, like, when Starscream lets out more of his, like, not so good tendencies, like, Star's the one there, like, bad! He's like, what the fuck? She's like, bad! Bad Starscream! At the same time, like, Starscream is also, like, this is my little femme, if anyone hurts her, they die. And, like, later on, it's, like, things like, you know how he gets, like, super suspicious of Windblade, and he's like, I put all this on you. That kind of thing. Like, he only begins to really like Windblade, like, one of the first things that kind of opens it up to the idea of Windblade is, like, Star meets Windblade, and it's like, oh, you're helping Metroplex, that's great, Metroplex is my friend, and, of course, like, Windblade's like, Metroplex is your friend, and she's like, uh-huh, he's my friend, because I have it where, like, the whole city speaker thing, like, I had an idea that, like, a little part of his communication skills is very similar to Sparkling Speak, which Stargazer is completely still fluent in, because, like, well, she was put into stasis, like, very early into her Sparkling Hood. So she's like, yeah, I understand him. And Windblade's like, what the fuck, you understand him? And she's like, I don't really know half the words he's saying, but I understand what he's trying to get across. And they're like, what the fuck, this femme knows. And Windblade's like, Starscream, like, she finds out Starscream is, like, her caretaker is like, it's like, can I train her to be, like, a city speaker? Like, you have no idea. This femme knows what Metroplex is saying. And he's like, I thought she was making it up. Like, wait, is she actually saying... Like, Starscream's like, she's actually saying things that matter. Like, she's being accurate. And, like, Windblade's like, yeah, she's being surprisingly accurate. It's like, what the fuck? I forgot to make it, like, it's only the front area that's like that. like, yeah, Starscream and Stargazer have like an interesting relationship. Like, it's very much like a antic, and like later on, like Starscream, I know bits, but I just don't know entirely what the context is. Like, I know later on he does get like caught and like tried for some of the stupid shit he does because he's Starscream, and like I imagine like when that finally happens, like Stargazer's like, no, you can't take him. No, you can't take him. And they're like, no, we have to take him. And, like, people are trying to drag her away, and she's like, no, you can't. You can't. Like, no. Stop taking him away. You can't take him away. He's all I have. He's all I have. And then, like, that kind of hits them kind of hard, where they're like realizing that, like, this little femme is there, like, no, you can't take him. You can't take him away. Like, you can't. No, you're not allowed. Like, very, very, like, almost in shock, and like very much like disagreeing and wholeheartedly being like, no, you can't. You can't. And yes, I do ride angst. I like to feel things with a bit of angst. I always make sure, like, at the end, things always have like a good ending, but like on the way there, I'm going to punch you in the gut multiple times. My goal is to make bitches cry. Okay. Whenever I get a comment on any of my fics that say, he made me cry, I'm like, hey, I've succeeded in my job. I'm here to sway your emotions. Because I like those kinds of stories, I think. I think that's why I write them, is because I like that kind of stuff where it tugs at my heartstrings. I love, like, fluffy things that don't have any emotion, but, like, when you tug at my heartstrings, I'm more invested. So I kind of rate that way, and I'm like, people would be more invested if I break their souls. So I proceed to break their souls. Bring your souls. Bring your souls, foolish mortals, I shall buy them. Also, yes, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just rambling, because I can. One thing about Sarah is, like, she also gets, like, a lot of praise in this AU. Like, Starscream, whenever, even when she does something bad, but she does it, like, brilliantly, he's like, that was very smart! Don't do that, but it was very smart! Like, you can't not say, like, praise her for when she does something, like, ridiculous. He's like, why in the did you do this? But that was very smart, but why? And, like, a lot of her behavior gets worse after Bumblebee dies, like, and Starscream's, like, trying to reprimand her, but he's like, I don't know how. How do I reprimand this small child? So, like, certain things he kind of gives up. He's like, I don't know how to reprimand her for this, so I'm just gonna not. Yay. such a cute little thing to draw. Asking why the pen looks like that, and it's like, oh, I switched pens. Good job, Brain. You're really functioning at high capacity today, aren't you? I had a second coffee. What the fuck, Brain? You had second coffee. Why no work? Brain, like, I don't require a second coffee. I require not being in today. And I'm like, Brain, please. Brain, please. Please, I require sacrifice. He's like red all the way through. Also, like, I think of some things I want to say about Starscream in this. Like, he is still the same normal rat bastard man that he normally is in this show. In most shows. I love him. I love his character. Like, even in the original show, I love him. Mostly because he's like one of the few Decepticons that holds the brain cell. 98% of the time, he has it. Yeah, like 8% of the time, either Soundwave has it or no one has it. Megatron never has it. Megatron never has a single brain cell. When you think he does, 5 seconds later, you're like, no, he did not have the brain cell. There is no brain cell to be had here. There is insanity here. Alright, much fun coloring this. don't know why this stream I was just like, I'm gonna try some Starscream and some Stargazer because my brain has been focused on it for like 2 days. 4 days. 4 days is a long time for me to hyperfixate on one thing. Mostly because, like, I hyperfixate on, like, a general topic, but then I jump from topics inside that topic for eons. Eons, folks. Eons. That's why, even though I didn't write them all, I had, like, how many different AU, like, ideas for, like, when I was still into My Hero Academia. Which, like, I still like My Hero Academia, I just dropped out of the fandom 98% of the time. I'm just like, eh. Like, I still like certain people when I see certain artists post stuff for My Hero Academia. I'm like, yes. And then I dip the fuck out, and then I'm done. I don't know. The fandom itself just didn't hold me as bad. Like, I still like it, and I still look at stuff for it, but, like, eh. It's not my hyperfixation anymore, so I don't care. Which means I stopped writing fanfiction for it, which people are like, oh, we want to read this, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I abandoned it. It has been abandoned. Why? Because my brain no longer has interest in it. When my brain loses interest in it, it will no longer happen. I can't force myself to write shit. And when I do, I hate it. So I just give up. When I lose interest in something now, I'm just like, yep, my body has decided this is no longer a thing I wish to do. So, sorry, but it is done. Like, one thing I'm slowly giving myself a little bit of a break on, and then I'm gonna try to jump back into it because I was forcing myself into it a lot, was my webcomic, The Shadows, which I'm now abandoning as a webcomic and just gonna do it as, like, a writing, and I might publish it as books. Because I know there is a way to, like, publish books. But yeah. That'll just be the way it gets done. January's almost done. This is the last week of January, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. I do know I'm, like, planning to apply for college now. Because as much as, like, I could wait until the pandemic's entirely over, like, everyone's got the vaccine, that's just way too long. And I'm like, okay, brain, you want to do this? We're doing this. Shit I'm playing today does not get flagged on YouTube. It's like no matter what I play, YouTube's like, copyrighted. I'm like, fuck you. I'm doing a lot of things over on Twitch now. A lot of the stargazers and like all the universes share is like stargazer actually really likes the idea of flying, and like a lot of the times in universe where like they're like, you're a grounder, why the fuck do you want to fly? And she's just like, I think it's cool. They're just like, what the fuck? Why does this youngling wish to fly? She has no wings, or no functioning wings. This is how she dies. Yeah. You're almost done. Now for the hard part. Shading! Yeah! Because I love shading. AKA I don't, but I gotta, because it makes it look nice. So let's get shading, bitch. also like one of the ideas I had for this like thing was that like once Cybertron starts to get like a bit more settled in and that kind of stuff, like I don't know if it'll be like before or after Bumblebee dies. I think probably after, but a little part of me wants to make it before. But like I just had this idea that like Starscream tries to send her like to a youngling academy, and like she just gets her fucking self kicked out the first day. He's like, "What do you mean she's kicked out?" And they're like, "Well, you see, she's got some troubling behaviors." And they're like, he's like, "What?" It turns out like she's just like questioning her teachers to the point where they just gave up. Because a lot of her teachers are like non-aligned Cybertronians, and they're just like telling things, and she's just like, "I don't think that's true." And they're like trying to teach, and she's just like, "I think that's true." And they're like, "Yeah, this is true." And she's like, "No." And then like, or like she's like an extremely like big like thinker. Like she has a very inquisitive mind, and like it just keeps asking questions. And the teacher's like, "Maybe it's just cuz," and she's just like, "That makes no sense. Why?" And the teacher's just like slowly being like, "We can't deal with her. Like she's disrupting the class." And so she's like, "She's asking questions," and they're like, "Yes, but not the ones we want." I can imagine like that being like a thing where Starscream like has it out with like a fucking person, where he's just like, "My daughter has come to you for a higher education. Yet every time she shows an essence of free thought or an inquisitive nature, you shut it down. And now you're telling me not only I just love that idea to death right now. My brain's like, that's a smart idea. Like a little way, almost Starscream's a bit proud of her for almost getting herself kicked out of school on the first day for being like smart. He's like, my daughter's too smart. She's perfect. What happened? She almost got kicked out of school. What do you mean she almost got kicked out of school? It was a beautiful thing. I'm getting too focused, guys. I'm sorry. Shading takes all of my brain power. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I still can't get over that guy on Twitter that was just raging to people. Being like, how dare you, like, not like, I did just hang out this. It's like, no one said they hated him. No one at all. We just say he's a problematic character, and it's just his popularity got outshone by Megatron. I mean, if anything, it goes to the great writing that went into, like, the IDW series, because, like, they made us care about a fucking genocidal fucking murderer. 2 of them, actually. Like, one of Megatron's lines from that, like, comic where he's like, I'll walk through oil and grease and rot, just to crush the spark of the blast out of thought. No tribe, I do so with pleasure. I do so because I like it. And it's fucked, and it's awesome. And then they make us feel bad for him. One of the favorite things is like when they show like all the sparks, like flowers around like Megatron's statue. Like one of the creators is like, yeah, Optimus is like has almost the same amount of bodies. Because even though technically they are the bad guys, Optimus killed his fair share of fucking people. That's one of the reasons, like, I actually really like Transformers is because as much as you, like, can try to boil it down to these characters are evil, these characters are good, in a lot of the universes, like, besides G1, where they're just comically fucking evil, like, a lot of the universes, it's really not as simple as they make it seem. Like, it's basically on the matter of how they go about things that really sets the Autobots and Decepticons apart. Decepticons are ready to fight fucking tooth and nail. They're the guys out in the parking lot going, fight me! When you fuck with, like, one of their friends. Meanwhile, the Autobots are like, let's sit down and discuss this 98% of the time. Like, Decepticons wake up and choose violence as a means to sort all their problems. And sometimes they are fucking justified. And a lot of, like, especially more modern takes of Transformers, like, Cybertron was fucked. And that's one of the things, like, I always try to include, because I like that aspect of Transformers, is that, like, things were not great. Cybertron wasn't a utopia. Things were fucked. And, like, this war broke out because two sides just couldn't agree on the means to an end. Megatron is very much the, like, the ends justify the means kind of character. Most fun part, trying to choose the color for the background. It's taken me almost all stream to do this drawing. You know what? That's okay. That means I'm taking more time with my art. And I shall be proud of that. I've done well, people. I finished this drawing. It took me all stream, but I did it. Yay. My ass. My ass is like, what have you done? What have you done, Yashiro? You've sat for too long. Now we no longer wish to function. There. I've done well. I've done well. Now to die. I got like 18 minutes. Not even 18 minutes. I got like 12 minutes left for time I should do the stream, but at the same time, I don't know what to do. I finished the whole point of this stream. Maybe I should just order my burrito and relax. Yeah, I think I'll order my burrito and relax. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like my streams, please subscribe to me here on Twitch. And but I don't know how this Twitch thing works yet, though. Brain! If you don't know what time I'm streaming, because I won't be streaming on Thursday and Friday like I originally planned, because I work. I'll be streaming on Sunday, though, with Transformers Reactions. If you want to know what time I'm streaming and when I'm streaming, go follow me on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram, Tumblr, DeviantArt. Post all my art stuff and all that kind of stuff on there, and occasionally some other things. If you want to help support me and everything I do here on the internet, go check out my Kofi page, coffee.com/Yashiroreaper. That's ko-fi.com/Yashiroreaper. And on the Yashiroreaper all across the web, you can read my fanfiction on fanfiction.net and AO3. I love you guys so very much. Thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to stay safe out there, wear your mask and all that good shit. And hopefully we shall soon be over with this. I wish it to be gone. Now thank you, love you, and see you in the next streams. Bye! Bye! Okay, I bought this ass pillow for myself for when I sit on my chair. And apparently Kitty also likes it too. Because every time I get my ass up, she wants to sit in it. Kitty! Kitty! You taking a nap? Yeah, she's like completely asleep. Why do you always steal my chair, Kitty? Why?